you could mass those together, stick that onto that. I think something plain, then the old book page. So that's a different colour again, is it? Slightly, but we can always make it a different colour. Hey guys, it's Jamie here, and I've got a really super simple little project today. It's to do some word clusters to build the stash. What I've done in advance of this video is I used some coffee stained paper, my little typewriter, and typed up various words, things like embrace, special, message, friendship, so you get the idea. Using the scrap box, I've created one little example for you, and we're going to do some together now, and then you can just craft away in front of the TV. This is such a simple one to do. You need some plain background as your first layer behind the word, particularly if you're going to be using highly patterned paper. I have some plain here. Then you want some patterned. I have book pages, patterns. I've even got a bit of shiny doily that I didn't use in a project the other day. That's, although not plain, is pretty plain looking. It's also quite plain looking. I'm just putting some things out so you can see the range. I'm going to do some very simple ones at first, and then we might try and take it up a notch and use some different materials and get some different effects. Plainish background, doesn't have to be completely plain, but plainish. Let's have a look. So the first thing is just check, and if it looks okay and it doesn't look too busy against the original word and you're happy with the colorway, that's good to go. Put that down, and then we're going to try as much as possible to cut that evenly around, but because the next set of papers are going to be torn, this evenness isn't as important as it could be if you were just doing cutting all the time. If it's slightly off, you can try and correct it. I will, but if you fail, it's okay. We're going to go into creating something behind it. So if we take a bit of text, what I also did was I used some distress ink, some vintage photo, and distress the edges. I did it at an angle, and eventually the last one will sort of straighten it up again. I will show you. I'm going to try this. This was going to, I think, probably be a corner pocket, but never obviously got round to that. You don't always have to ink in vintage photo. You can use other colours. I'm just using a glue stick. You can use any glue. And we might do it this way this time. And you can put as many layers on this as you want. For this one next, if you tear away from you, you get less white edge. If you tear towards you, you'll get more white edge. So depending on what look you want. I may well take that basically straight and make that the sum total of the word cluster. The next one, we're going to add a bit extra to it, but that would be your basic version. Let's grab another word, a different plain background. Right, I think this time we're going to edge the straight one. Could go with that. And the cute thing about tearing it is you're almost going to go with wherever the tears go. We could have a bit of this again, just a flash of that behind there. And it really does depend how big you want to make the cluster, or what sort of effect you want as to where you go from there. You could have a straight background. Happy with that so far. Even with that white edge, I forgot to ink that, that's fine. To make it a bit different this time, a small ink stamp. Do that. And we have a different look again. Try a different one. So this word says opportunity. I'm going to ink this time with the Distress Ink peeled paint. Now we just want to start gluing things down like that, because we've got nice regular shapes. I was thinking we could put some napkin on this one, this one on top, and then cut that Don't know how straight I've managed to cut that. That's quite nice. And then just edge that one again with the green. I think that has a different look and feel to that one. If you have digitals with words, you can do the same thing with your digital words. Let me find some of those. I found a date. No reason why we can't do it with dates. I might do a page background first. I'll go back to vintage photo for this one. That looks okay. Okay. I might leave that one, put a black border around that. I also found a sticker. I think I could put that on that background. Green ink this time. It's going to make quite a large cluster. Could even put it on there. I might fussy cut this one out. Vintage photo around the outside, I believe, would look best. Okay, how about one with a bit of lace? Let's try using a plain background like this page I've been using as a glue book, using a Fabri-Tac glue because I'm gluing paper to fabric. If you have a sewing machine and sew, you can sew some of these, which might be fun, or put some stitches in after you've put them all together. Cut these hemming bits off. Takes a few threads, doesn't it? There. I think that looks a little better. That's very simple but effective, I think, for a different junk journal. I'm building up a little pile here. You could mass those together. Don't want to waste, do we? Try a bigger word and stick that onto that. I'm going to be playing with glue now for a little bit, but I think it might be worth it. I think something plain than the old book page. So that's a different colour again, is it? Slightly, but we can always make it a different colour. That's the green, going for a very natural, good for a woodland journal. Another bit of green behind here. Now, do we do a bit of book page? Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit less, not much. And there's another little look from scraps. Kind of cool, these. You could do these for hours, couldn't you? Some numbers. You put that against there, will it show? It needs something in between. I think you might just be able to get that plain brown in between to cut really, really close to that. Quite a stark contrast. Still have some of this left. Or actually, I've got some flowers on this as well. Try this. This time, if we can, rip. Might be nice if we had a flower sticker or something to put over that. I'm not sure I've got any left. I do have some crochet flowers. They're very white. I think I could stain them. Put that up on that area. I'm not 100% over that one, but might just pull away at some of this. Yeah, that's slightly better. I do have some pink lace. I don't know if I'm going to be able to rip this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this to make 2 levels of the same paper, then add the word. That's given that a bit more background. Want something behind that that will go with it or be a contrast, like this one's a contrast. And if we go for the more purpley area, if I rip that too narrowly, well, we could just make an actual cluster this time. So I want to leave the white core on or change it. I think I want to leave the white core on, in which case I want it to show on that one as well. And I still need another one, I think. Now, can we put this on? I think we could put it along the top, but then we need to tear this a little bit. I'm not wowed by it, particularly as the word goes slightly that way, but I suppose you could, when you put it on the page, you could have it, the cluster at an angle. So we want the word straight, even if the cluster isn't. Yeah, that's better. Now it's got some impact. I've pulled out some quotes or words that are digital downloads. I have this background and a bit of napkins, so we're going to see what's going to go with this. The green might. I wonder if the brown will go. Probably fit at the bottom. Might go back to these ones now because they're smaller. So this would be how you could mass make them. Be to do a bigger piece and glue a lot of words up. I decided to keep those ones simple, so they are more like little book plate type words, and at least with being on card they're nice and stiff. I did say that I would go through some of the others that I've made. So we have, again, all of these made from scraps, little sparkly ones. You may have seen some of these. That one I think you saw, that's a stamped one. We've done most of these together, I think. Some of these you may not have seen. This one, for example, I think I did that one off camera. The big quote with the sparkles off camera. The little treble backed word. I still have a ton of words here, but it is a little project that you can sit and do so easily. I hope some of those designs inspired you enough to give the video a thumbs up and possibly even to subscribe, as that is a free way to show support for the channel. YouTube notices these things, and let me know what you think of this little cute scrappy project in the comments below, and I will see you next time.